and welcome back to Traffic Talks. I hope you are doing well. As you can hear, I am doing very well, and I'm just really enjoying things right now. So, today we're talking about how people always say, I don't have time to do things. And I just said this exact same thing in last week's episode. What I'm about to say may sound like a contradiction, but it's not, because you do have the time to do things. Even if you say like, I don't have time, like you do. And I'm going to get into that. Firstly, before we get any further, as you can hear how happy I am, my 6-month me time thing has really kicked off with a bang. And I just spoke to a friend before recording this. This is the day after. And they were like, 6 months to a year. And I'm just like, I like that. Like, that's good. I like that. Because keeping it going for a bit longer is definitely something I think I should do at least. But so far it's going well. Like I said, I have started doing small things, but 1st of July kicked off a whole new page, a whole new chapter in my life, and I'm really just enjoying it. Unfortunately, the country went to lockdown level 4 as our previous 3 for like a week or so. And me being the person that looks for the silver lining is that since we have gone up to level 4, schools are closed. And I don't like cold weather. I'm currently sitting recording this with a blanket over my shoulders, and mornings are cold. Schools being closed means I don't have to get up early to take my sister to school. So I'm really just enjoying that fact. That is something I'm definitely going to look at the silver lining of. A lot of things have closed down or have been restricted. Like you can't go to a restaurant anymore. You can't sit down and enjoy things. Like there's a lot of things that I used to do prior to this that I can no longer do because we've gone up in levels, but I'm looking forward to it. Plus, with this new level, you can't go out as much, you can't spend as much money. I'm focusing on my finances, so that's definitely a good thing. But onto this episode, I took some time to reflect and set better goals for myself. One of the main things was my finances, which was challenging, but making time to achieve your goals is very important. If I didn't sit down and work out that plan, I wouldn't be better off than what I was previously. And you can make time for your goals. And this is a very subjective thing. It's very dependent on the person and the circumstance. That is because everyone lives different kinds of lives. For me, I see it as you are either someone who says, I don't have time, in the meantime you binged 4 hours worth of TV, meaning you actually did have the time and you just chose to not use it for that. Or you were in a similar boat to me where I literally wasn't eating because I had to go do something, or I wasn't sleeping because I had to stay up late to do something. At one point, I was actually staying up until 2 a.m. to record and edit and prep my podcasts, and then they wouldn't even go out because there was just not enough time to finish editing it, and I would be late with uploads. I think that happened a few weeks ago, where I literally uploaded Tuesday almost 9 p.m. versus the 8 a.m. upload on Tuesday, which upset me, but it also was like, wake up, you are behind in your things because you don't have time to do it. Like, why is this happening? So it's really dependent on your circumstances. In that case, I really didn't have time. If you're binging TV or doing something when you could have been doing what you wanted to move yourself along, that's on you. Taking responsibility is the first step to doing this, because once you take responsibility and say, this is the time I have, this is what I spent it on, okay, I accept that I did not do what I intended to do, but let's make some changes going forward. Once you take that responsibility and you hold yourself accountable, you're on your way. To me, that is the main difference. You either wasted your time or you literally didn't have time. There are cases in between, but that's not what I'm focusing on. The key thing is that we all only have 24 hours in a day, and yet somehow other people manage to do so much in a day and we don't. And this is not a comparison, but more of like an observe and learn kind of thing. The main observation is that they plan and prioritize things better than what we maybe currently do. I like to use the example of taking a trip as your 24 hours. Some people know where they want to go. Other people don't. The things you need to actually look at are where you currently are, where you need to go, what you need to take with you, how much petrol's in the car, are you going to pass a toll that you're going to need to pay money for, which you're going to need to have on hand, which route are you going to take. Some people get in the car and start driving and just hope for the best and pray they reach their destination. Other people wake up, plan where they're going, make sure their car is packed, prepped, ready to go, and then hit the road. Sometimes they start later but they end up further, and that is just what it is. Which once again I say, to each their own, but look at it and learn what you can from it. One of the best things to learn from those kinds of things that I've seen at least is 3 words all starting with P. Plan, prep, persevere. Honestly, I should have made that the title of this, or even like a motivational book. We'll see. But those 3 things essentially are the most vital. The planning is because you want to achieve. Okay, that is the goal you set. That is the dream you want to go for. That is it. Manifestation works in all that, the secret, the power of the universe and law of attraction. Yes, okay, all good and well, but you need to look at what you want, plan for it, and break it down into actionable goals. Things you can actually put on a to-do list and tick off. Whether it takes you a week, whether it takes you a month, have something that you can work towards and put effort in. Prepping. I love a good prep. But prepping is all those little things, like the car trip. You need to make sure the car is ready. You need to make sure your bag is packed. You need to make sure you have cash on hand. Prepping is doing things in the best way for you. If that is batching work and doing it all at once, do that. If that is making bulk meals and meal prepping for yourself because cooking takes up a lot of your time, do that. Find ways to prep that work for you. So that when it comes to, am I going to make lunch for 2 hours, or am I going to just pull out a meal I've made, eat it in half an hour and use the other hour and a half for something productive? That's an option. Figure out things that will work for you. And work for you means if you like to take that 2 hours to make lunch because it unwinds you, do it. Find something else that you can use that same formula on, where instead of taking hours on something, you cut it in half, even cut it into a quarter, and use the rest of the time for something productive. And the last P, persevere. This is going to sound very cheesy, but write a letter to yourself for why you are doing this. Like, write a physical letter and write it for when you feel like giving up. And in this letter, imagine yourself in the future having achieved this goal, and write to your past self in quotes, about why you should continue to do this goal. What will be the benefits of it? Why are you doing it? Give yourself a good reason why, so that when you read this letter when times are tough, it's going to motivate you to push through and persevere. And if writing a letter is not your thing, make a video of yourself and be like, dear future self, this is me. I hope you are sticking to whatever we promised to do, because we know it's going to do A, B, and C for the future. So stick with it. And you doing that kind of motivates you not only in the moment, but it's something long term where you can always just refer back to it and be like, I've achieved this once, I can do it again. When I felt bad, I did this. You can do that thing, especially if you are busy with a creative project and feel like your muse has abandoned you, or if you're just exhausted because you've maybe stuck to 5 days of working out in a row and you finally think, there's nothing wrong with me, my muscles aren't tired, I just don't feel like doing it today. Have something that's going to be like, okay, but you don't feel like it, so why not still do it? It's not like there's a sore muscle that's holding you back, like you've gotten over that fatigue already. Like, just keep going. Because even if it's just one day where you don't feel like doing it, the day you really don't feel like doing it, you're going to be like, I felt like this before, I still did it, nothing's holding me back, and keep going forward. Persevering is something that can literally be the make or break for you. So whether it's a small habit you are trying to build, like I mentioned, the exercising every day, or it's a life-changing decision to do something that can impact your future in a dramatic way, persevering with the small things or when you don't feel like it is going to build up that confidence to keep persevering when it really gets tough, when it's really make or break, when it's really, really important. And as I always say, to each their own, find which motivational way is going to work for you. Put it in a letter, put it in a video. If you, and I say this because I can't, if you can Photoshop all your goals together in like a collage or something and put it somewhere where you will either see it every day or put it with a letter to yourself. Do something that will motivate you in that moment or consistently if you need it, because it's been proven that motivation doesn't last, and that's where perseverance kicks in. Motivation is to inspire action in that moment. It's not lasting, but if you can see this motivational burst in a specific context to you, especially because it's tailor-made to you, it's not your cut and paste. Because I do like to practice what I preach, something that I did do was set a goal for myself for the month of July. I'm not going to say what it is, but it is a goal that I've broken down on my calendar. I've split it up according to the days of the month, and I work on it a little each day. And I know for a fact it hasn't been that long, but some days are easier than others. I've been planning this since the end of June and I started July, but some days are easier than others, and that motivation definitely helps because some days are easier than others. And the thing is, I'm hoping to turn this into a long-term passive income for myself. So I've planned it out, I've prepped my workstation, and I've got my motivation for when I need to persevere. It is a collage that I made on an app called Canva. So you basically just put images that you find. You can either upload them or use the free ones available on their site and insert it into a collage, which I have done. I have made it my phone's lock screen and wallpaper, so I'm constantly seeing that, and when I go to scroll through something, it's like, there's that picture that motivates you to do this, there's that picture to motivate you to do that. Like, look at all the images of what you want for your future. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to do this, or are you going to work on your dream? Having that visual reminder all the time is something I need because I'm a very visual person. My space is reflective of my mind. So if I minimize all the apps that waste my time and I clean off all the tabs on my laptop, if I make sure my space is ready for me to just work instead of having to do something else, that works for me. And that was the best way to motivate myself, to have this constant reminder. What are you going to do? That is what I did. I have done that, and I really am looking forward to it. My friend that I spoke to reminded me a month is a bit of a short time for that, and I'm like, absolutely, I 100% agree, but a strict deadline is just something to work towards. Even if I don't make it within that month, I don't mind rolling it over to the next. But having that set out and that rigid routine is going to help me get into the rhythm of it in the first place, and that is what I need. Here's to that, and I hope I can do it. I will definitely keep you updated on how it's going, but like I said, it's something I'm hoping to create a passive income out of, because it's definitely a focus on my finances and I definitely need another income for it. So yeah, that is a podcast for another time, but that is what I've been doing and how I've been practicing what I actually preach. So it's not just hot air, by the way. The main thing I wanted to round this episode off on was that all of us have limited time on this earth, and all the same time in a day. Like, we all have 24 hours. We don't know how long we are going to live, but wake up every day and do you. We tend to allow small moments dictate our lives, so rather take control and dictate to those small moments how you're going to make a difference in your own life. Don't let stupid things like laziness or, oh, I'm just not feeling it, like ruin your day and just make it feel like, oh, you wasted the day doing this, now you feel bad. Like, don't do that. Do something productive. But keep in mind, burnout is a real thing. So go for your dreams, do it. But do not do it at the expense of your health, be it physical, be it mental, be it like spiritual. Like, take breaks. If you really need a day to just unwind, binge watch the entire Big Bang Theory series and not care, do it. Just don't do it every weekend or like every night when you come home from work. Build in other good habits. And if you are someone like me who doesn't really watch a lot of series and it's like a mission, I've literally scheduled out certain things in a calendar where I'm like, between this time and that time I'm watching this, like do not disturb. I've scheduled it out. So don't feel bad if you want to take time to watch. You can't be on 100% of the time. That's impossible. So don't forget, go for your dreams, take time out to relax and recharge, and then continue. And if that time is once a month where you just do nothing on a Saturday, or even the entire weekend, do that. But do it at your own pace. Don't let others dictate to you. Yeah, that is where I'm gonna end this ongoing nonsense. I've been rambling, so yeah, I'm gonna cut that off here. And the song of the week is by someone who there has been so much talk about the last while. I think it's actually been more than a year, but recently it's been reignited, and that is Britney Spears. And the song of this week is actually Britney Spears' Overprotected, but it is the Dark Child remix. The lyrics of the song alone is mind-blowing. Like, just reading the lyrics alone is powerful, but watching this remix version of the music video, because she did like a specific one for it, is insane. Like, just go watch the difference between this Dark Child remix version and the denim-clad cookie cutter version that she basically was forced to do. It's the world of difference. Like, you can actually see them basically escaping, doing what they want, not being told what to do, not being dictated to. And that is, I think, the best part. Having to actually look at things and be forced to deal with it yourself is a really good example when it comes to learning about life. Especially in the lyrics where she says, what am I to do with my life? And then gets answered with, you will find it out, don't worry. Like, don't rush. The answer will come. Don't rush it. It will come to you. Just try and figure it out as you go along. Like, no one knows exactly what's to come in life, and that's how you learn, by doing things, by making mistakes, by learning from them, by learning from others. That is how it happens. But yeah, enough of that. That is, once again, another episode. That is a song for this week, and definitely go watch the music videos. They are worth it. It is so good. And that's all for me. If you have any comments on this video, you can leave them below. If you would like to check out my Instagram, I will leave a link for that. And as per usual, keep being a better being and keep trying to do you. That is all for me. Love you. Bye.